Hey everybody, welcome to Tales from the Tavern. My name is Dominic, and I'm here with my friend Andy Trask.
Yes, hello, Dominic.
The Trask Master.
If you will, if you shall, and you will.
I feel like when you say Trask, you can almost hear the way the S and the K sound together. It kind of sounds like a motorcycle starting in the night, a little bit.
Wow, I have never heard that, and I love it. That's fantastic.
I mean, that's just what it reminds me. Yeah, I mean, there you go. I think you got
Yamaha,
it right there.
a ninja or katana.
Yeah, something fast.
That's it, baby.
But Andy and I are here today with tales of fantasy, tales of excitement, tales of arch-nemesis. Arch-nemesi? I don't know. And cryptids. And those prompts were suggested by Robert Moon. He said arch-nemesis. And cryptids was suggested by Jesse Kabuski. If you want to suggest prompts or vote on the prompts, you can do so by becoming a patron by going to patreon.com/TFTTpod. But you can check that out later because we are in a realm. Where are we?
We are in my fortress of solitude, mid-Wilshire. A cave dwelling that I have created myself.
I gotta say, it is a real deal tavern in here.
Absolutely.
It's well lit. I think you've got basically you're about to read by candlelight. I mean,
pretty much.
It's pretty cozy.
I like to call it mood lighting. I like to keep everything to about 14 to 17 candle watts.
Okay.
And I dig it. I dig a space. Half my room is covered in wall of wood.
Yeah.
WOW.
That's rare in this realm.
I've got thrift store paintings and original artworks. I have Thor's hammer halfway embedded in one of my rafters. This is true.
And this is just the life you live because you're a fantasy man. You take on the roles of fantasy and sci-fi adventurers in the troop Lusty Horde.
I'm 1/4 of the Lusty Horde, LA's only all-male science fiction improvised fantasy group. I love it.
It's wonderful. One of the other members is Tim Jennings, who's come on the show before. The other two shall forever remain a mystery.
I could tell you their names: David Park and Kevin McShane.
But in this land,
Fantastic.
in this land that we are in this fantasy land that we're in,
yes,
those names are unknown.
Maybe you should invite them on the show.
Oh, I could. They could come on. They could totally come on sometime.
It'd be fantastic.
But here we're in the Trash Masters world.
We are in the T-Zone.
The T-Zone.
Yes.
What is your land called? What is your fantasy land?
My land is it's a stone's throw. If you're a Herculean stone thrower, that's another story I'm working on. Near Stone's Realm, this village, this burg, is known as Cravencorn.
Cravencorn.
Correct.
And I believe we're in a tavern here.
We are in a tavern.
What kind of what kind of place is this?
It's a cold place. It's a wintry town.
Oh.
It's high up on the Andalusian rainforest quagmire.
Wow.
And so it gets cold at night.
Yeah.
Ergo, de facto, Sampo. The name of the tavern is called The Witch's Tit. As in cold as a...
As in something that is very cold, as we all know.
Yes.
What kind of folks come into the old Witch's Tit?
It's a burly group. There's no cover charge. There's jazz night on Wednesday night, but no one's there. Mostly drunkards, haggards, draggards, dragon slayers, dragon brokers, dragon layers, bricklayers, brick throwers.
Oh, wow. This is an assortment of this. You were right. These are all burly men.
It's a burly, smelly, wonderful place.
Yeah.
Full of mercenaries, mercantiles, and merkins.
Merkin. What is a merkin?
I believe that's a artificial vagina.
Those are here.
Yeah.
You could say that. I believe you said this place was full of them.
Well, let's just say there's something here for everyone at the Witch's Tit.
If you know how to ask for it.
Exactly. And you have to ask The matron of the establishment, she runs it with a firm hand and a firm grip. I may or may not say her name now, but I can say it in the story.
Yeah, okay.
It will come out in the story.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a great...
But she's a colorful and powerful woman, and you will hear a little bit about her.
So why don't we get right into it and hear your tale of arch-nemesis and cryptids.
Our tale today is about a thick and burly man by the name of Dutch von Torcherson. Torch, to his friends and enemies, of which he had equal parts. When he was your friend, old Torch would warm your heart and dazzle you with his glow. When you were his enemy, he'd burn a hole right through you and joyously piss a wee line right in the middle of it. Well, here's Torch entering a bar, a tavern, if you will. 17 crow miles from Stone's realm in a land called Cravencorn.
Cravencorn. How long exactly is a crow mile?
Well, it's 4 nautical miles.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Depending on wind and weather.
Yeah, pretty far from...
Pretty far. They speak a different dialect. I'm definitely sure of that. It happened on a cold November night at a place called the Witch's Tit.
Oh, that's this place.
Oh, yeah. It's as cold as... Well, it's as cold as the Witch's Tit. And it was filled with the hot-blooded cadre of Cravencorn's fiercest mercenaries. It was owned and run by an ex-military woman named Sour Sally. She was a tall woman with a crisscross of scars across her Chevy Chase from her various exploits. Each one told a story. The long one, from ear to décolletage, was earned when she wrestled with Lordite, the knife worshiper.
He worships knives.
Absolutely. The guy was evil. He was a terrible, terrible man who was wanted in 5 prefectures for the horrible torture and disfigurement of small animals and pets.
Oh, no. That's horrible.
He would skin house cats and ferrets and even corgis.
Whoa.
Yeah, and turn their pelts into an intricate patchwork that he fashioned into a topcoat that smelt to high and low heaven. It stank. It stank the stunk of his very soul. Some say he had a few human skins in there.
Whoa!
Yeah. Why, some even say that the thick brown gloves he wore were fashioned from the scrotums of his male victims. With his sharp, sharp knives, he carved terror throughout Cravencorn. So much so that his bounty had risen to 5,000 blorns.
Blorns.
And he was worth every blorn, my friend. So Sally decided one day she was going to go collect that reward. And the fight between Sour Sally and Lodite, it lasted a week. Only pausing for meals, prayer, and the occasional ass blast. When it was over, only Sour Sally came out of that riverbed with old Lodite strapped to her back. She was quoted as saying, "Get me Sheriff Gumbus and a cold shot of ball gash." She got both, and Lodite got dead.
Was ball gash a drink named after Lodite due to his
Simply a coincidence.
Okay, all right.
There was a local distillery, Vincent Ballgash.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Like a liqueur, late night liqueur.
Okay, so
fantastic.
Nothing with
ironic,
names.
I would guess.
Yeah.
There were people with actual ball gash scars in the community.
Yeah. As we know.
As we know. So it's always with a certain reverent respect that you nod to Sally when you enter the Witch's Tit, with the knowledge that any roughhousing will be dealt with severely. So after nodding, our hero Torchy sought out the man who had betrayed him in the Diamondell mines on Tandar 4.
Whoa!
Yeah,
that sounds like that takes place on another planet.
There is a bit of space travel.
I love it.
Within this community.
I love it.
They don't flaunt it, you know.
Yeah.
They like to keep their life simple.
Yeah,
but there are also ports of rocket ships in the outer realms.
Incredible.
Man's got to make a blorn.
And this is pretty close to Stone's Realm. Stone's Realm doesn't know about this.
No.
It's crow miles. 14 crow miles.
Crow miles.
That's pretty long.
Yeah. The man who had abandoned him when they were beset on by a tribe of blorbs that had raided their camp all those moons ago. The man, well, you all know him, is the current general of the Destructoids. Yep, the dance master himself, Paul Rivercorn Guts.
Oh.
Mud guts to his friends, blood guts to his enemies. His wife Patty called him love buttons. That's another story. Whatever you call him, he was there, and it was up to Torch to strike up an uneasy alliance to track, stalk, and lay corn to the beast that had been terrorizing Cravencorn for the last 10 moons. The Cragger.
Oh, man.
Yes.
That sounds like the sound of the Cragger.
The Cragger, as you may or may not know, is a Hellcat. A 7th level flesh shredder that had emerged from a mog bog on the outskirts of Boogerville. The story goes, some preteens were smoking ghost weed and reciting words from an ancient text out by Stinker's Pond. They thought they were just fooling around and trying to impress their females in pursuit of the netherloins. Well, they got action all right, but not the foot jobs and lung jobs they hoped for. They got death rattles and bloody jaddles instead. When the local sheriff, Howard Storch, viewed the scene, he reportedly vomited for a full hour. For you see, the Cragger is known to flail rail and tear asunder his victims till there ain't nothing left but stringy flesh vines.
Jesus.
And then he festoons said vines on the nearby tree branches and shrubs.
Oh.
Some even say he strums and hums the innards and sings a dirty dirge.
That's terrible.
Known as the Cragger's Serenade.
That's horrible.
It's horrible. I've never heard it because, let me tell you, those who have heard it are instantly driven mad. People have reported to tear out their own hair, shit out their pee holes, and piss out their poop chutes.
Oh, my God.
And I'm telling you, topsy-turvy, friend. It's not a pretty sight.
Yeah, freaking Hellcat singing a song with somebody's body.
Horrible, horrible sight and sound and smell. The Cragger had to be stopped. And as much as he hated his old foe, he knew that Paul Guts was the only one with the ball bag enough to make it happen. So he made his way to the crowded pub till he was face to face with PG himself. Old Guts was chatting up some strum thumper with huge blammers. So he cleared his throat and said simply, "Hello, Tingles." He stopped talking and froze. Only one man in Croatia called him that, because there was only one man who knew that his testicles tingled when he was truly, truly frightened. How he knows that is his personal matter. He turned to Torch and said in a low voice, "I told you never to call me that." And he turned to his bumble broad and snapped, "Leave us, Poodles." Poodles got up, adjusted her blammers, and disappeared into the tavern. Torch took a seat across from Tingles and squinted his eyes, fingered his stabber blade, unsure how this was going to go down. They stared at each other, till Tingles pulled a small smile and said, "How about a pint of slorg, old friend?" "I'll take the slorg," he replied, "but we ain't friends."
Oh.
Tingles motioned to Sally. She brought over 2 steaming pints of the finest slorg Blorns can buy. Sour Sally looked at us and said simply, "Now I don't want no trouble here tonight, fellas. And I can smell trouble. And you two smell like a belch fart, drifting off a snaggle bitch after an all-night buffet of soupy noodles." "We're just going to get a few 3 things straight, Sally." She measured the 2 men, lightly dragged her nads across the scar, and said, "All right, but I got my eye on you lot. I got 2 rules at the witch's tit. No fighting and no fracking." "Well, then we shall neither fight nor frack," Tingles said, pulled hard on his long can of slorg. Torch nodded, and the sour one left them alone. As he sipped his drink, Torch resisted the urge to lunge across the table and scramble the windpipe of his old enemy. But he was here for a purpose, and revenge would have to come later. And as Poop says my witness, he would have that revenge. He wiped his maw and looked at his former comrade's chest. Looks like they gave you the Dick Sauce medal for bravery. Guess there was nobody left in our platoon still alive to tell how it really went down on Targon 5. Paul Guts eyed his former gum runner and spoke. Look, when you left me on that starch pile, I thought the Blorgs were gone, and I sent a perch pig in to secure the area. The Blorgs killed that perch pig and made it their mascot. How was I to know that? I got the tingles, and I busted Corn out of there. If I knew you were still down in Preacher's Pit, I would have come back for you. You gotta believe me, Torch. Torch took it in, swilled his swill. There had been confusion on the hill that day. Hell, you read all the stories. Maybe things did get a little cray-cray there for a while. He decided to cut old Tingles some slack and released his grip on the weapon, stared in his eyes and spoke. I'm willing to give you one more chance, Tingle Dingle. I'm looking for someone who's got the guts when things get nuts. Someone with guts in his butts. You know anybody like that? Do you? Do you?
Yeah, I do. Me. I got the guts. I'm Paul Guts, for frack's sake.
Good, because I'm going after the Cragger. The tavern froze at the name of the beast. Sour Sally dropped a picture of Slorg all over her new St. Sammer's Day dress.
Oh, St. Sam.
It's coming up. It's 2 days away. Yeah. She just got the roses on it, too. The piano player shouted like someone with Bogart syndrome. Sweet Jambi! And a small child ate his own hand.
Great ball fat. You're going after the Hellcat?
Tingle said. I am. Paul Guts sank in his chair. As the tavern returned to its murmuring and harumphing, cleared his throat and said, I'm in, Torch. The two men reached across the spittle-strewn table and grasped each other's fist in the secret shake known only to the members of the Asspool Fuck Force. The shake is intricate and dynamic and lasted a full hour.
Wow.
It's a long shake.
Yeah, it sounds like the shake of the ass pool.
It's incredible. I mean, only the Fuck Force know it. Dawn broke. On the outskirts of Cravencorn, two riders were seen headed near the Willow Woods, near Cripple Creek.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. In the lead was Paul Guts, a.k.a. Tingles, wearing the blackened pelt of an ogle doggy.
Oh,
that was the tradition of those of his tribe when they were on the hunt.
Oh, okay.
They wear a different pelt when it's more festive or dance-like.
Okay.
Behind him, wearing the skull of the blabbercock bird, was our hero, Torch.
How big is that skull, just for reference?
It's like a football, what you would call an American Football League size helmet.
Oh, okay.
A blabbercock bird, as you know, grows to enormous size.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
They fly throughout the region, and if you're lucky enough to find one, bring one down, you can wear the skull cap when you go into battle.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the blabbercock birds they're glorious. Covered the plumage alone.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Great just to pick apart and use.
Unreal, Good luck. They are good luck. Torchy and Tingles picked up the track right away. There was Cragger feces everywhere. As we all know, Craggers are known for their projectile bowel movements. Some shit blasts travel 75 foot-feet.
Jesus.
Or more.
Whoa.
And are coupled with a hissing sound that will make the hair on the back of your neck stand on end. Because if you heard it, the Cragger was near, and your ass was glass.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that sound.
I mean, you might get sprayed with ass.
Oh,
as
God.
well, as it sounds like.
Tingles dismounted and inspected the still steaming fragments of turd. He squeezed it in his hand, gave it a quick smell, and he found a human molar deep within. Looks like this one's got a sweet tooth. And judging by the tang, he's in rut. Torch nodded and smiled, knowing that any animal is most distracted when the sexual fever is coursing through its veins. Hellborn or not, veins is veins.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Just then, they heard a noise, a rhythmic noise, and they crept their horses to the edge of a large meadow surrounded by dead and dying blue oaks. They peered in and saw a sight that would make even the good Lord Ebadiah blush.
I love how thick this world is.
It's
you know,
thick.
Everybody knows all the big powerful guys.
It's all there, man. Ebadiah, you know.
the good Eb, as we know him.
Yeah, the good Eb. In the clearing was the Cragger, gripping a large rotten branch in his sharp talons and violently plunging his prong dong in and out of the log's hollow core.
Oh my gosh.
The two bounty hunters watched intently. It was Tingles who spoke first.
Looks like our boy has found a lucky lady.
You said it, said Torch. Now all we gotta do is wait for the fireworks. As my grandpappy Festus would always say, there's no better time to take down a Cragger than when he blows his blam jam. Tingles drew his long, pointy blade shaft and whispered,
When he comes, we go.
Torch nodded and unsheathed his own blade, double looping the steed's reins into a tight pleather bunch. In the dew-dropped beauty of Cripple Creek, 3 sounds were heard. A whippoorwill whistle, a pog frog croaking, and the of a full-grown Cragger fracking the shit out of a dead tree.
Oh, he's getting into it.
Tingles commented. Across the field, the Cragger, in his sex frenzy, was shifting positions, whipping that wood around his demon wood like an extra-large pocket pussy. The Hellcat's moan began to echo off the surrounding forest. Now, I don't know if trees have feelings, but I'm sure a few, gazing down on that scene, seeped some extra sap, knowing that their grandmarmar or grandparpar was down there getting their splinters blasted by the Cragger's massive rock cock.
That is a Hellcat's boner. If you don't know.
It's the boner, man. Imagine watching that. If you're a tree and you're just like, it's terrible.
That's terrible.
It's terrible. As the moans reached their crescendo, Torchy whispered, Come on, you bastard, blow that chode. Then came a sound only few can describe. But I shall try. It sounded like the wheezing scream of 1,000 sheep being crushed by 1,000 bull elephants, while simultaneously thrown into a volcano of boiling hell sperm. The Cragger came. Roar! The sound ricocheted off the stones and twigs around our 2 fierce warriors, causing them to clutch at their ears and momentarily lose their grip on both their weapons and their senses. In the town below, several people looked in the direction of the willow woods and winced a winsome wince at the guttural cry. All across Cravencorn, windows and small figurines shattered here and yon. And in a lonely cottage on the outskirts of the village where the old ones lived, a wrinkled woman of 112 moons heard the sound, and a distant memory shook her body to the core. She leaned on the door frame, almost passing out, as she felt a sharp twinge in her old yoni, and spoke in a voice so frail that even Ebadiah would not hear it.
Oh, he comes so hard.
Then she dropped to the dirt floor, stone dead, the small smile on her lips, and a moist heaven hole.
Whoa. Okay, so is this alluding to the fact that this woman had a relationship with the Cragger?
A brief relationship many years ago.
Oh, okay.
Where she was out on a assignment to wash some clothes, came across a young and virile Cragger.
And they had a date.
They had a date.
Right. They went on a date.
They went on a hot date,
okay.
Dominic. And it all came rushing back to her in that brief moment in the sunlight. And she was gone.
Yeah, and they killed her as well. Is that established? She's dead.
It was a combination of old age and of violent orgasm recall.
So, okay, all right. Just want to know how that went down.
It was love. It was love and lust. At the same moment, back in the clearing, the cragger shatters the log with gallons of crag cum and smiles a wide smile through tears of orgasmic bliss. His eyelids droop for a nanosecond. Torch, then Tingles, yelled, "Now!" And for added effect, "Let's send this tree raper back to the shit stream!" The two men instantly split up and half-circled around on the cragger, who was now coming down from his sweet spot and regaining his strength. They would have to act quick fast. They would only get one chance. The cragger noticed the killers in his post-blast malaise, but could only utter a single word. The men came down on him, blades flying, hooves stomping, cum slipping all over the place. The horses swirled, and the scabbards flashed their steel death blades in the bright, bright Cravencorn sunlight. The dust of the battle swirled around the three creatures, swirling and stabbing, slashing and swirling, dicing and slicing, till Ebadiah himself could neither decipher man nor cragger. The roar of the battle was booming down from the canyon lands to the Booker's Bluff. All who heard knelt down and prayed to Ebadiah to watch over them and to keep their corn clean. Furious moments passed, and then a piercing scream was heard throughout the land. Then silence. As the dust cleared, the two warriors stood like statues, their swords erect and holding betwixt them the carcass of the hell-born kitty. A sword pierced one ear, a sword pierced the other, and the dead beast stuck in the middle, gasped once, and then his eyes rolled back, then black. The cragger was no more. Torchy and Tingles lowered their weapons, and the cragger fell in a muddy heap on the forest floor, emitting the ghastly gas sounds of a perforated corpse.
Whoosh, flarf, queef.
Torch spoke first. "Damn, that stinks." Then Tingles added,
"That's the smell of dark evil, my friend. Now lop off his head and let's get our reward."
Torchy stuck his stabber in the neck flaps, and like you and I would carve a trout, cut the throat strings and set to yank the massive head off. Torchy said, mostly to himself, "I know half of that reward will certainly pay for a night of swilling and drilling at the witch's tit." And then was heard the soft mutter from Tingles,
"Course, the full amount would garnish the creamiest corn."
And when he heard that, Torchy saw in his black reflection of the cragger's gleaming dead eye his partner behind him, raising his sword aloft and swinging down hard.
Fucking blood guts.
Fuck! Torchy acted in a flash, tearing a large fang from the cragger's mandible and turn-throwing it at Tingles.
Oh!
Striking the treacherous Tingler right in the juggalo.
Oh!
Right there, right underneath. Right in the juggalo.
Yeah!
Cried Tingles and dropped to his knees, dead as a doorknob. Blue blood spurted out in a wicked fresh shit that sprayed the ground like dark horse piss.
Oh.
Torch stood over the two dead uns and spoke. "I always knew you were a rotten, Tingles. Now I'm going to watch you rot." Torch finished ripping the head off the cragger, and for Ebadiah's grace, he lopped off Tingles' head to boot. He walked back to town that day with the head of a stabberback in one hand and a backstabber in the other. That night at the witch's tit, there was much rejoicing. Swillcorn was drank by the gallon, and Sour Sally even performed her sexy dance that had every corncock hard and left every heaven's hole drip, drip, dripping till the sun came up.
Everyone enjoyed it.
Everyone
enjoyed
equal
Sour
amounts
Sally's
of
dance.
sexuality. True to his word, Torchy had the head of Paul Guts mounted on a steeple pike in the center of Cravencorn, and would walk by it every day and watch as his head went from Flytown to Saggy Pumpkin to Skull Bear. It was a good year in Cravencorn. The cragger had been destroyed. The corn was high and shiny. And Ebadiah did smile.
Oh, that was just, a little wonderful tale.
A little window into a world.
into a very dense living world full of gods and known people. I gotta say,
a lot of guts, nuts, and butts.
it really makes sense that he came back with this super horny beast's head, and it was kind of like an aphrodisiac to the entire town.
May or may not have been put into the drink of swill corn and passed out amongst.
Good old swill corn. Swill corn's real good because it's alcoholic, but then it's got stuff floating in it, so it's like food.
It's wonderful. It's hard to get in Los Angeles, but I know a place.
It's a few miles out.
You gotta
but,
go.
yeah.
It's a few crow miles, but you'll get it. You'll get it.
You gotta drive to get it, but you get it. Andy, my tale of arch-nemesis, which I've decided to say, and cryptids, is called Hunting on the Edge of Revenge.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Like it.
So there I was, said the hunter, back up against the wall, all out of arrows, throwing knives, swords, sticks of dynamite.
Wow.
All I was left with was my bare hands. The hunter clenched his fists before his eyes atop a table at the Magic Leaf Tavern.
Ooh, that's a good tavern.
His boots gripped the damp wooden table, decorated with a few burning candles and beer mugs of various design. So I pulled back and threw the wildest haymaker I ever mustered.
Wow.
And then another, and then another. Haymaker after haymaker, I began to punch my way to freedom.
Man, that's a lot of hay being made.
Yeah,
my
it's
friend.
a lot of hay going around,
Wow.
You boxed an eagle? Asked a dwarf sitting on the other end of the room. Not just any eagle. Wachimbo, the giant eagle, who walks.
Yo.
All eagles can walk, replied the gnome. Yeah, but this one's too heavy to fly, so he's really good at it. So good that he was walking right out of the way of my punches. The hunter mimed the eagle smoothly sidestepping his attacks. I got pretty winded from throwing the hardest punches ever tossed, and before I knew it, Wachimbo had walked away.
Wow.
Never to be seen since. The room applauded. Good story.
Right.
How do you know about all these guys? Asked another gnome who had glittering sparkles falling off of him. Yeah, did you read it out of a fucking book? Said a stone goblin.
Yeah.
Who had kind of a crappy attitude.
Right. There's one of those in every tavern.
Yeah.
They don't go out and fight. They
No.
just come in, they just want to analyze your
They
story
just wanna
and
be
shut you down.
Freaking crap,
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
made out of stone. They're already in a bad mood.
Yeah.
I'm a cryptozoologist. It's a fun word, everyone. Try it out sometime. What does that mean? It means I research creatures rumored to exist, mythical beasts, and sometimes I hunt them. Cool that you hunt and kill these incredibly unique living creatures, said a gnome drinking a beer. Tonight, said the hunter, ignoring that last bit, I'm here in the magical moon thistle forest
Whoa,
to hunt the cryptid who killed my dog.
Whoa.
Everyone in the tavern gasped.
Sounds like there's a lot of gnomes and in the tavern who just like to talk sass.
Well, yeah, they're just there having a beer. It's a magical tavern. It's a
Right.
magical forest, so
Sometimes
magical
when
gnomes.
you're magical, you got a little sass in there.
Yeah,
It's part of
because
it.
the rest of your day is pretty fascinating. So if you're going to be telling a story,
Yeah.
we're going to need to know some details.
That's right.
Everyone in the tavern gasped. In that same moment, the tavern door burst open as human-sized treants ran in and began punching the bartender all over. He was beat unconscious, and then the tree men fled.
Wow. Hit and run.
Reckless teenage treants, said a gnome. As I was saying,
Nice.
just a kind of it's a magical forest, and when you live in a magical forest, sometimes
There's random acts of tree violence.
yeah, well, like a lot of things are growing up, rocks are getting older,
True,
and a
true.
little bit more conscious. So, like, sometimes they act out, and sometimes you get beat up by a group of trees.
Sometimes they see their grandmama throat fucked by the Krieger.
Well, yeah, well,
that can damage a young
yeah, well,
tree, a
yeah,
sapling.
that could happen in the Krieger's realm.
Absolutely.
As I was saying, continued the hunter, I'm here to hunt Gerald, the lizard boy. Oh, no, said one guy who just could not believe it. The name's Craig Shetfield, by the way, everyone, and thank you for letting me stand up on the table and yell and stuff. My story was fun. Solid audience, all of you, though. It was nice. The hunter chugged the remainder of his beer, then medieval high-fived a guy near the door. In excitement, he grabbed that guy's beer and chugged it as well. Then he smashed the mug on the ground and pointed to the ceiling as he stiffly walked backwards out of the tavern. To no applause or well wishes, it's just kind of mildly awkward, honest silence.
I love this. The point.
He's like,
the
"Woo!"
smash down and the point up and backward walking out. I'm out of here.
I mean, that's how you. If you're going to go hunt something, that's
how you
how
do it.
you start
That's
it.
how you begin a journey.
He began to track the lizard boy. He got close to the ground and began looking everywhere. He found something. Some stepped-on grass. Who stepped here? Gritted the master tracker. He studied the shape and knew a possum. He followed its paw tracks to the base of a great magical tree where, oh Lord, a dead bloody rat, and beside it, a coin purse. Empty.
Wow.
Looks like a robbery gone wrong, said the man. He wiped the lizard's rat blood on his pants, declaring it a cold case, and continued the search for Gerald.
Instantly declared it a cold case. Got some clues. Yeah, that's a cold case.
That's a cold case.
Never to be
Wipe 'em,
solved.
Get him right off here.
Love it.
Continue the search for Gerald, the lizard boy. He began to look everywhere again, and before long he spotted something else. Is that some stepped-on grass? said the hunter. He leaned in to inspect. Sure enough, it was. He followed these tracks to nothing. Whoever made these tracks had wings and had flown away at some point.
Okay.
So no real luck with tracking. He sniffed the air. Oh yeah, it smells like smoke, he realized, and decided to follow its scent. Soon, in his pursuit of the smoke source, he spotted the glow of a campfire off in the distance of the magical forest. Fucking glowing butterflies were flying around and shit. It was pretty magical to behold.
Amazing.
He took careful steps toward the fire. In time, he grew close and could see the back of an unsuspecting hunched figure. Perhaps the lizard boy. He threw a knife right through the clothes, setting them into the fire. Huh? Suddenly, the fabled Gerald appeared on the other side of the campfire. His oily, slick skin glistened in the firelight, and he wore Bible clothes? He was in some sort of sack. And he had a red bandana on. What kind of evil sorcery are you up to now, where you can just disappear, lizard boy? Asked the hunter. Dude, I am magical, said the lizard man, trying to maintain his anger. It is part of my whole thing, and for the last time, I'm an adult. I have been for the past 7 years, okay? I live on my own in a tree. Also, my name's Dave. Boy, man, it doesn't matter. You killed my friend. I'd go into this whole story about how the two of us met and we had a great time and a wonderful montage and etc. But you just established that you can disappear, so here it is, abridged. I was hunting down this dog beast, and it came to a point where my back was up against a wall, where I knew I would have to box this dog beast to death.
You know, dog boxing has been outlawed for several years.
And it has, yeah. And he didn't
rightfully so.
He didn't want to resort to that, but it had to come to it if he was going to live.
Yes.
But when I looked into the soft, dog eyes of the mythical creature known as Mac's Breath. I also knew, right then and there, that hunting him down just to kill him was wrong, and maybe I should have this thought with every cryptid I hunt down, but sadly, it has yet to occur again. Anyway, we became great friends until you killed him. I didn't really kill him, replied the lizard man. I was coming home with groceries when you sicked your dog on me. I stepped out of the way and he fell off a cliff. I did not kill him. That is in no degree a murder. Craig considered this perspective. Well, lizard boy, what silver-tongued sorcery are you up to now that you got me believing your lies? That's what happened, replied the lizard man. Both of you shut up, boomed a voice. When out from behind a pine tree stepped a bipedal bat man with brown wings and large white fangs.
Yikes.
If it isn't Gerald, said the lizard man, clenching his fists. So this man's name is Gerald.
Okay.
Dave, you suck and I hate you, said Gerald. Now I'll kill you alongside my secret weapon. From behind a pine tree stepped a giant eagle.
Oh, yes.
Wachimbo, gritted the hunter as he squinted his eyes. The great eagle cawed some curse words. Oh, hell no, yelled the hunter, and shit was on. Everyone's favorite fight song was playing in their heads as they started beating the ever-loving hell out of each other.
Wow.
Craig tossed reckless haymaker after haymaker, while the lizard man knew arts of the martial flavor. He was flipping and using fierce kicks. The lizard man lived for this shit. Wachimbo dodged punch after punch until Craig had to lay down and catch his breath. This is for killing my brother, shouted the lizard man. He jumped into the air and did a spinning kick to Gerald's dome, knocking the bat beast's head clean off.
Wow.
A bell tolled in the distance for added effect. Thank you. Wachimbo briskly walked away after being spooked by this awfully violent display.
Yes.
The hunter picked himself up. Whoa, that guy killed your brother? Yes. Gerald had me blackmailed and exiled from my people. Then he used political influence to have my brother executed.
Oh, man.
Gerald was the biggest jerk. And now he's dead forever. The end.
Wow.
The end, yeah.
Dude.
It ends right there.
You ended with a lot of storyline that's... I'm curious about the political situation with the lizard communist party.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if they are necessarily communist, but
Right.
I could see it.
Oh my gosh! Families torn apart through political turmoil and bat oppression.
Yeah,
is a story as old as time.
Yeah, and he's only the mythical lizard boy,
Right?
Because fucking Gerald pulled his strings and had all his people killed. Therefore, he's the last of his kind, and then he's a unique creature.
Wow!
You believe that?
And I really could hear the word Gerald a lot in my life. It's fantastic. Gerald is so much. There's so much going on there.
Yeah, it's
I
like
got Gerald, I got Harold, I got Cherub, I got Gerald. It's all there. It all happened around that campfire.
It's a name from a magical land. Yeah, and you know how cool. He was looking awesome with like having the fire glisten off his scales as he was like flipping around and kicking a guy.
I saw that eagle as having a real smug attitude.
Oh, yeah,
one of those walking eagles. Just you see them at like Trader Joe's and like, I would just like to buy some apples. They're like, yeah, I can fly and walk. That kind of vibe.
Fuck that guy.
F that
Fuck
guy.
those eagles.
He can lick my M over and over again.
What is it? Your mouth?
Yeah, I guess it would be my muscles, maybe.
Oh, it feels good to be back in Cravencorn. I mean, we were out of it briefly for that story, but it feels so good to be back in the land where corn is king.
It's very true.
I mean, I don't mean to say these definitives about your world, but that's the way it feels to me.
Yeah, it's a corn god-based society.
Of Ebadiah.
Ebadiah, of course, everyone knows the story of the first corn merchant of Cravencorn.
Is there some mythology about a big like a mythical ear of corn? You're
talking about Santosha, the wise.
Yes, I am talking
Apparently,
about
Ebadiah was a simple corn farmer, and he went on a quest to seek Santosha, who came through a vision through a swamp or a mogbog.
Oh.
And there was some paperwork exchanged, and
classic.
Some scents were smelled, and apparently one of them gave the other a massage. And it became the religion that we all know today as Ebadiah and the corn goslings.
The goslings, yes, as they are regularly called.
Yeah, in the Book of Jobs.
Well,
you can Google it. You can totally Google it.
You could Google it.
Yeah.
If you can get to a computer around here.
Oh,
I mean,
hard.
you can, but you get to a computer, you're a step away from getting into a rocket and going over to
Tandar 5.
Tandar 5, where shit goes down. Yeah.
A preacher pit. I mean, there's perch pigs everywhere.
Oh,
it's
God.
a crazy, crazy landscape, if you will, or manscape.
That's kind of
the wars on Tandar 5, as you know, continuously, they ebb and flow. Sides are changing sides. It's an eternal conflict up there. And there's no Ebadiah there. It's a godless planet.
What are they fighting for?
I believe it's oil rights or secretion value. There's a lot of secretion.
Is there a disagreement over how much it should be valued?
Should have or you shouldn't have?
Okay,
there's a constant battle between the sweat pits and the tar heels.
Just for everyone out there, don't come up to me and tell me how much I should be secreting and how much I shouldn't.
Exactly,
be secreting, because it's going to start a war.
Yeah, I mean, all you need to do is take a look at the videos from Tandar 5, and you rethink. Give peace a chance, and just secrete as you will secrete, and everybody secretes. Am I right?
Yeah, everybody does. Don't act like you don't.
Don't act like you don't.
But remember Tandar 5.
Yeah, let's all take Tandar 5 in our hearts.
And remember those lost. Andy, you are in the Lusty Horde, as we said. Is that?
I am in a wonderful improvised science fiction group known as the Lusty Horde, and our fans are called the Horde Corps.
The Horde Corps, one of them, right here.
And you are one of them, and we honor you.
Oh, thank you.
And we ask that Ebadiah bless you with creamy, creamy corn
and
for all the days of your life,
for the rest.
And your secretions be clean and true
and bountiful.
And we perform science fiction, fantasy, improv once or twice a month around Los Angeles. And we have a show coming up this Monday, the 28th of March, at the West Side Eclectic Improv Theater, which is down near 3rd Street Promenade.
It's
right in the middle of the promenade in Santa Monica, not Santa Monica Boulevard. And I believe the show is at 10. Yes. And we invite you to come on down. I believe it's free. It's cold beer. There's swill bog everywhere, and
maybe a little corn swill.
There's some corn swill. There's a sale, 2 corn swills for $1, and we do fantastic improv for 29 amazing minutes.
It's a wonderful time.
Come down.
If you wonder what Tandar 5 is like, you may see it.
Definitely.
Before your eyes.
You may even see one of the greatest battles of Tandar 5, the clutching of Hellspin, reenacted on stage.
Well, that's the magic of the Lusty Horde, because I would say maybe even divination, maybe some conjurers. You call upon the ancient
saying.
Yes, the ancient spirits that have lived these lives, and you embody them, and for 29 magical minutes.
Thank you.
You show us a little bit of that life.
We do. We are merely the flutes on which Ebadiah blows. his wind, his strong wind.
A hollowed out corn flute.
It's hollowed out corn flute. Hopefully not run into the Cragger on a hot summer night.
Because two things could happen to you,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I think we know what they are.
Yeah, there could be some fracking, there could be some blasting.
Or there could be
Cragger come.
some stringies playing.
Or the Cragger's serenade may find you, my friends.
Then that's
You must run.
maybe that's where we should leave you here, because it has been a thrilling time. Andy, how do people say goodbye to each other in Cravencorn?
They usually raise their right hand as you walk away from a tavern or a marketplace. Hold their hand up high and say, "May the corn rise with you and shine on your chowder."
and may the corn rise with all of you, and may shine upon all of your children.
And so it shall be.
And so
in
it shall
Ebediah's name.
In Ebediah's
name.
In Ebediah's name. Thanks for listening, everybody. Andy, thank you so much for joining us
Very
and showing
welcome.
us Cravencorn. We'll see you real soon, folks. Bye-bye.
Stay lusty.
Stay lusty.